This is my audience. Alright, so everyone has gone walking on a beautiful day down a park or down a parking lot, and they've smelled the worst smell ever, cigarette smoke. And so when I'm asked with the question, do we need greater restrictions on vaping? I think about that. And I think about how whenever people are forced to stop vaping, they turn to cigarettes. And that's even worse than vaping. I know personally I would rather smell vaping than cigarette smoke. Cigarette smoke is foul, while vaping can smell like anything in the world. So I do not believe that we should have more restrictions on vaping for a multitude of reasons. A couple of those reasons being, more restrictions will not stop the vapors. Restrictions will force vapors to turn to cigarettes. And vaping is healthier than smoking cigarettes, at least for the people around you. So, according to Ken Alltucker, the author of Americans Overwhelmingly Support Regulations to Make Vaping Safer, USA Today poll finds, on October 2nd, 2019, he says that more restrictions will not stop vapors. In fact, he was very, very clear that if there are more restrictions, then people will turn to the black market, especially teens that you don't want in the black market. And he also states that a surprising factor was that older adults are the ones that favor more restrictions, which could be due to the fact that in their generation, all they knew was cigarettes. So of course they're going to be against these new things that are providing nicotine to teenagers. And 82% of vapers claim that restrictions will not stop their vaping, and that more people will turn to the black market. And a woman that was interviewed by Alltucker claimed that vaping helped her quit smoking, and restricting it will make it worse for those people that are looking for an alternative. So moving on to restrictions will force vapers to turn to cigarettes. Raymond J. March, the author of Are More Vaping Bans Coming Soon? Let's Hope Not, from Catalyston, January 25th, 2020, he argues that restrictions will turn vapers to cigarettes. And he reminds us that the FDA has already passed several plans to prevent teen vaping, but he fails to realize that whenever you restrict something, more people are going to turn to that. So even though the FDA has made these restrictions, it will not stop teen vaping because they have already gotten their addiction. They have already become invested in this. And then he also brings about the fact that banning these flavored products hurts the ones that vape because they're going to turn to other things, and it hurts that vaping industry because flavored products make up 40% of their sales. Those 40% are going to end up going to cigarettes. So they're no longer going to the vaping industry, they're going to the tobacco product industry. And so, finally, vaping is healthier than combustible cigarettes. A lot of people believe this due to the fact that there's cancer-causing agents in both of them, but there's less so in vaping. At least that's what Kevin Laura of Consumer Reports on July 16, 2019 reports. He admits that vaping is not healthy in any way, but it is safer than those traditional cigarettes. He mentions how existing restrictions have not been able to keep kids younger than 18 from obtaining these products, so why would restrictions make it easier or harder for them to get now? They're already getting them. They get them from their friends, their parents, their family members, any way that they can, and they will continue to do so even when these restrictions are in place. And he also makes the quote of both vaping and traditional cigarettes contain cancer-causing chemicals, but vaping has lower levels. So while you are ingesting the same chemicals, it is lower and it's therefore less dangerous to the people, especially to the people around you who are having to breathe in those chemicals. So summary. While I do not agree with vaping, restrictions are not the answer. Restrictions will not help nicotine addiction, and they will force those vapors to go back to traditional cigarettes, which are even worse in my opinion. I don't like the smell, and I don't like being around people who smoke, period. But if I had to, I would rather be around a vapor than a smoker of a cigarette. So I do not think that greater restrictions on vaping is going to help the situation due to the fact that they're going to get it anyway. whether through illegal means or proper means or from friends or family. They're going to be able to get this, and that's what the scary thing is. No matter what happens, they're still at risk. And also, you are putting these kids in danger because of the fact that they still have that nicotine addiction. And it's not going to go away just because you took away their only source to get it. They're going to find other ways. So personally, when walking through a parking lot, I would rather smell a flavored vape than cigarette smoke. Thank you.